Hey, and welcome to the Luxious. Today we'll be talking about the 10 most expensive houses in the world. Mentioning the word home evokes a sense of comfort and modesty. For most of us, it's not the size that matters, as much as the tranquility and security we feel within this place called home. Well, for those who are listed as the richest people on earth, there's more to a home than just modesty and utility. To these interesting yet eccentric individuals, home is a place where they can spend most of their fortune, afford unimaginable luxuries, and flaunt their wealth. For example, if you take a quick tour inside Donald Trump's house, you'll find nearly everything in gold. That's right. Or how about Bill Gates' house, where he has screens that display any desired painting, photo, or artwork that costs $150,000. Best house in the world? Maybe. Let's find out. Hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin made history when he purchased the 24,000 square foot penthouse in this Robert A.M. Stern designed skyscraper overlooking New York's Central Park for $238 million, making it the most expensive home sold in the US. The 79-story tower is distinctive due to its color. The building is sheathed Alabama Silver Shadow limestone. It's also known for its luxurious amenities, which include a spa, an athletic club, private dining, and entertaining facilities. And did I mention a private motor court? Yes, that too. Ira Renner's giant limestone Italian Renaissance-style home sits on 63 acres of beachfront property in the Hamptons. The 62,000 square foot mansion has 29 bedrooms, 39 bathrooms, and an expansive 91-foot dining room. Property is also home to all kinds of luxury leisure spaces, such as a basketball court, a bowling alley, squash courts, tennis courts, 3 swimming pools, and a garage that can hold up to 100 cars. And you thought a garage that can hold up to 2 or 3 cars was splendid? Think again. T. Boone Pickens' 65,000-acre ranch boasts a private airport and a pub. It also has an 11,000 square foot bird dog kennel with room to house 40 dogs, a chapel, golf fairways and greens, and nearly 20 man-made lakes. The oil tycoon moved his childhood home from Oklahoma to the ranch in 2008. The 35,000 square foot apartment at the top of the Turodon is developed by the Gruppe Marzocco and designed by architect Alexandre Giraldi. It spans several floors and comes with its own private elevator. The private luxury doesn't stop there. A water slide coming from an upper floor into an infinity pool with 360-degree views of the surrounding landscape makes this penthouse pretty spectacular. Designed by Hungarian architect Antti Lovag and built between 1975 to 1989, the Bubble Palace features a series of round rooms that spill down a rocky cliff overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. While Lovag was reportedly inspired by man's earliest dwellings in caves, the seaside estate, not short on modern comforts, features 3 swimming pools, several gardens, and a 500-seat amphitheater on the hillside grounds. Bubble Palace is currently owned by Italian-born French fashion designer Pierre Cardin as a holiday home and has been the setting for many a swanky event. Like in 2015, Dior showed its cruise collection at an indoor-outdoor fashion show at the sprawling estate. Built in 1830, then purchased in 1904 by Belgium's King Leopold II, this mansion was considered to be the most expensive house in the world on the market. When it went up for sale in 2017 for $410 million by David Campari Milano of the Campari Group, the property's current owner. Set on 35 acres of manicured gardens and named for the cedar trees on the grounds, the 18,000 square foot, 14-bedroom estate boasts an Olympic-sized swimming pool, a large stable, and decadent interiors. Think ginormous crystal chandeliers, intricate gilded woodwork, and 19th century oil paintings. All of it is fit for the opulence of the home's Belle Epoque heyday. Built in the early 20th century, this Georgian revival mansion is the second largest residence in London, clocking in at over 90,000 square feet. There are 65 rooms, including 25 bedrooms. The house has been used as a filming location for large and small screen productions, including The Last Prince, Tipping the Velvet, and Fame Academy. Owned by Lily Safra, widow of Lebanese-born Brazilian banker Edmond Safra, this 11-bedroom, 14-bathroom estate is perched on 50 acres in France's Alpes Maritime department of its Côte d'Azur region. It features a commercial greenhouse, helipad, outdoor kitchen, and stunning pool. And it was the setting for Alfred Hitchcock's 1955 film To Catch a Thief. Villa La Leopolda is named for its original owner. King Leopold II of Belgium gifted the estate to his mistress Blanche Celia Josephine Delacroix in the early 20th century. The home was redesigned by American architect Ogden Codman Jr. in the 1920s. Designed in consultation with Chicago-based architecture firm Perkins & Will and Santa Monica-based hospitality design firm Hirsch Bedner Associates for Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani, this 400,000 square foot residence in Mumbai's Kambala Hill neighborhood is 27 stories high. The tower can sustain an earthquake of magnitude 8 on the Richter scale. It features 6 floors devoted to car storage, a car service station, a temple, a 50-seat movie theater, and 9 high-speed elevators. Buckingham Palace is the London home and the administrative centre of the British royal family. The enormous building and extensive gardens are an important site of ceremonial and political affairs in the United Kingdom, as well as a major tourist attraction. But for a monarchy that dates back almost 1,000 years, Buckingham Palace is a relatively new home. The palace has achieved iconic status as the official London residence of the reigning British monarch, but it hasn't always served in that role. Indeed, for more than 300 years from 1531 until 1837, the King of England's official residence in the capital city was St. James's Palace. Located about a quarter of a mile from Buckingham Palace, St. James's still stands and remains the home of several members of the royal family. The land on which Buckingham Palace sits, in the borough of London known as Westminster, has been in the hands of the British monarchy for more than 400 years. Originally marshland along the River Tyburn, the site had a series of owners, including William the Conqueror and the monks of Westminster Abbey. It is said that King James I liked the site and acquired it for use as a sort of garden for the royals. It also had a small 4-acre grove of mulberry trees, which King James hoped to use for silk production. There was a house on the property at the time, and it passed through a succession of owners until 1698, when it was sold to a man named John Sheffield. He later became the Duke of Buckingham, and it is for him that the house on the property was ultimately named. Sheffield, finding the original house on the property outdated, decided to build a new residence on the site in the early 1700s. Designed and built by William Vine and John Fitch, the structure that became known as Buckingham House was completed around 1705. At one point, Buckingham House was briefly considered as the site for the British Museum, but its owners wanted £30,000, an exorbitant sum at the time. King George III purchased Buckingham House from Sir Charles Sheffield in 1761. He commissioned a £73,000 renovation of the structure. The king's plan was to use it as a home for his wife, Queen Charlotte, and their children, and after his family moved on, the building became known as the Queen's House. With George III's death in 1820, the king's son George IV ascended to the throne. Having grown up in Buckingham House, he favored the building and wanted to make it the official royal residence. He hired architect John Nash to expand and renovate the structure. His design expanded the main section of the building, adding west wings as well as branches to the north and south. The east wings were also rebuilt. Following William IV's death in 1837, his niece Victoria assumed the throne and became the first royal resident of Buckingham Palace. Soon after taking up residence in the new palace, however, Queen Victoria complained about the lack of space for entertaining foreign dignitaries. So, in 1845, the architect Edward Blower was retained to enclose Nash's forecourt on the eastern side for the construction of staterooms and ballrooms. Buckingham Palace's triumphal arch was moved to nearby Hyde Park. Edward VII ascended to the throne, and he is credited with an interior redesign of the palace, the remnants of which can still be seen today. The home of the current monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, and her family since 1952, Buckingham Palace remains the administrative headquarters of the royal family and the site of many official events and receptions. Today, the 830,000 square foot building has 775 rooms, including 19 staterooms, 52 royal and guest bedrooms, 188 staff bedrooms, 92 offices, and 78 bathrooms. Today, the Queen welcomes many foreign leaders to the palace for celebratory events as well as important diplomatic meetings. If you like our videos, subscribe to the Luxious and don't forget to click the bell icon. We have plenty of more interesting videos on our channel, so do have a look at them as well.